Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching me from. My name is NCK2310. And for the returning subscribers, welcome back. Thank you so much. For those that are new, welcome as well. What I do here, I do scrutinize and analyze song, and to be specific, Kikuyu songs in English. That's what I do here. I dwell in gospel songs, in political songs, especially the politics in Kenya, where I am from originally, although living in Sweden. And I also deal with Mogithi, which is party songs. Yes, that's what I do here. So today I've prepared a Mogithi song, an amazing song. I just have to switch on something here. Just 1 second. Wait a minute. Just switching in there. Yes. Yes, as I have said, today I have prepared a Mogithi song, a party song, more or less, we can say it. And it's a very, very beautiful song. So let's dive in without wasting any time. We hear what the song have to offer. That's why we are here. We want to hear what the songs will teach us or tell us. That's why we do scrutinize and analyze the songs. All right, let's dive in. The song says, the beginning can be very, very difficult because you started with poverty, and poverty has no roots. As we say in my mother tongue, ate thena dore meri. That's what we say in my mother tongue. Poverty has no roots. It means it can disappear because it has no roots, right? The song continues to say, there is no one that has ever given birth to poverty. Ati gutire mundu uri waciara thina. Nobody ever wish or want poverty. Nobody in this world. Nobody. And that's why the song is saying, no one has ever given birth to poverty. So nobody likes poverty. I don't like poverty, and I'm sure you listening to me, you neither also don't like poverty. The song says, no one likes poverty or has ever given birth to poverty, breastfeeding it so that it can be long lasting. No one. Poverty has no roots. It doesn't. Poverty has no roots. You can be delivered from poverty. Poverty is not for lifetime. I know that there are some people who today are living in poverty. Today, they have nothing to eat, nothing to wear, maybe even no roof to cover themselves on. We have so many people today living on the streets. They have no homes because of poverty. We have so many people suffering today as we talk because of poverty. And that's why I always say, if God has blessed you, be humble. Because what you have today, there are so many people who don't have. Those of us who grew up not well up families, you can understand what I'm talking about. Those of us who grew up sometimes that we didn't know what to eat the next day, you know what I'm talking about. Those of us who grew up having new dress just once a year, and even sometimes that once a year it was missing because our parents couldn't afford it. You know what I'm talking about. Those of us, for example, in my country, Kenya, we have some food, some stable food. Like, for example, I am a Kikuyu from Kenya, and with the Kikuyus, we are known for eating food like githeri, which is maize and beans. In the Western countries, they call it chili con carne. But in the Western countries, they make it more modern, more or less. Those years growing up, it could be just boiled maize and boiled beans. And sometimes when your parents have money to buy cooking oil, then it was nice because it could be added onions, if they have some tomatoes, so it's more tastier. And sometimes if your families or parents were able to buy some meat, they could mix it in. But most of the families who suffer even today, when you hear the name Githeri, like for example, for me, I do eat it today, but just because sometimes I miss it. But it's not like I like it so much. Someone can ask me why. I grew up with Githeri and live alone at home. Also in the school, in the boarding school where I was, we were eating Githeri. You know, sometimes when I think about it, I tell God, how did I survive that? From Monday to Saturday, lunch and dinner, Githeri, boiled. And I started to eat that from class 1 to class 8. On Sundays, in the school I was at Tetu Girls in Nyeri, we used to get on Sundays rice that was luxury with beans, I think, and some cabbage. But for me, when I hear just the families who are only eating Githeri, I just remember my days as a small child growing up eating Githeri every day. Sometimes they were giving us fruits so that at least we can have a little balanced diet, at least. And milk we were getting, maziwa ya Nyayo at least, for some proteins as well. But what I'm trying to say today is that there are families today that they're only able to eat Githeri, lunch and dinner. When it's finished, the new one. And the reason, for example, most of the people who suffer, for example, in our villages, is because many people grow maize and beans. So most of the families didn't even have to buy that. And some families, some people can say, yeah, but you could also be eating ugali. Listen, for you to be able to eat ugali, you need to bring the maize to be grinded so that it's flour, maize flour. And sometimes, because not all families had maybe the money to go and take that to be graded in factories, it means you have to go and buy in a shop maize flour. And some of us growing up there, sometimes the parents couldn't afford that. I tell my story, especially after my late dad was sick that time. Before, when he was working, he made sure we ate. But when he got sick, for example, I do tell my story, those of you who follow me, that there came a time, and my mom was a housewife. She had never worked then, that time. She started to work after my dad fell sick. Before, she had never worked. It was tough. That a packet of maize were lacking. And today, there are so many families who can't afford to go and buy a packet of maize flour. For me, having gone through that when I was young, I will never laugh at those kind of people. Because I was there. And there are so many of us that have been there. A packet of maize flour missing. There are some of us who grew up something called chapatis, that you only were getting them when there is a big celebration like Christmas. Once a year, for example. For me, in my family, I can say at least when my dad was working, we were having some chapatis sometimes. But there are some families up to today, they only see chapatis during Christmas time because a packet of wheat flour those years, it was more expensive than maize flour or anything like that. So it was tough. Very tough. So there you are today. Maybe you have a store like me today that you can open and you don't know even what to cook. Thank God. Look up and tell God, God, thank you that you uplifted my life, that you have a food store at home, not knowing if you want rice or maize flour or wheat flour, I don't know what. There are so many people, don't forget it, today, they don't have that. The song continues to say that poverty has no roots, as I've read, that you can be delivered from poverty. Poverty is not for a lifetime. I've read that. The song continues to say, it's a very touching song. The song continues to say, but there is hate to the loved one. Ati mudushio wedetuo niamenetuo. There is hate, rumena, for the loved one. But God makes him or her to be respected, shocking everyone. I do remember me growing up in my village in Luakabete. There was an area called Nyadona. From our village, if you walk more straight somehow, you come to a village called Nyadona. And there was one man there. And that man was the only man in my whole village who had a madhouse. And as kids, we had never seen a madhouse. So sometimes we could gather us together, the children from my village, and we would walk all the way, somewhere like maybe half hour, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, maybe walk, to go and see a madhouse. And we could just see it from outside. Because in my village there, I had never seen a madhouse. So it was, we were always very curious. A lot of us, we used to have mabati house like my parents, or wooden houses. And the rich people used to have the stony houses. But for madhouse, for us it was, how? How can someone have a madhouse? So I do remember we used to go, all of us, a lot of kids during school holidays. We gathered together in the village to go all the way to see that madhouse. That madhouse was for a man called Mr. Gatete. Now he's late. That man, they were so poor. Poor of the poorest. That even if we would compare him and our family, we were like rich. Even if we didn't have TV or electricity or anything. But they were very poor. And that man, guess what? During the elections, those times there used to be positions, leaders, chiefs and sub-chiefs and DO and PC and stuff like that. Guess what? He was the only man in our whole village area who people trusted. He was the one who was chosen. He was the one who was elected. He was the chosen one. He was trusted because him growing up, he had never stolen from anybody. He had never done anything bad. He was loved by people in the whole village. Our village and the small villages around there. And all of us had to have one leader. He was the chosen one, Mr. Gatton. May God continue to rest his soul in peace. A loving man. He was the one who all of our parents, grandparents believed in. They gave their votes to him. And he was elected as the chief of the area. And I do remember when I was back in school, that sometimes he used to follow where late President Moi used to go. And I do remember one time when I went to say hello to him, he actually, those years, and it's many years ago, he gave to me like 200 Kenya shilling. That time it was a lot of money. Because he remembered me and he knew I'm from the village and, and he gave me 200 Kenya shilling. I was so happy that I saved it, so proud, so that when you close school, I could show my parents. I was given by Mr. Gatete 200. I was so happy. A man that was trusted. Man, he had nothing. And guess what? After even he got his position, he did all the best what he could. But during those days for Moi, they were not getting that a lot. They were not getting a lot of money. They had just the name. And they had to attend these big celebrations of President Moi and stuff. But he was a good man. And even when he passed, everybody was hurt because he was loved in the village. That's why we say that sometimes the loved one is hated because there were some people who thought he was not worth it. He was not worth to be elected. He was not worth to be given that position because of his poverty. There were those people who thought that way. But we know numbers matters as well. Those years, it did. The song continues to say, poverty brings rejection and shame. Poverty brings hate to heroes. That you who is there and you're a hero, but because you're poor, because of poverty, you're being hated. Don't worry, there's a song here for you. The song continues to say, poverty is not a wound. As we say in my mother tongue, that poverty is not a wound. Poverty is not to be handicapped. Tiwaju. Never think that because you are poor, that you're handicapped. Never think that way. Never think that because you are poor, you have a wound. Because poverty is not a wound. Whatever you do, if you're working, continue working hard and praying. Telling God, God, uplift me. Remove this shame from me. Remove these embarrassments from me and my family and my life. The song continues to say, be strong, you hero. Wow, the song is telling you, you are already a hero. You there who is poor. You there who is filled up with poverty. You there today who have nothing to eat, nothing to dress. You have even no home. The song is calling you a hero. And the song is telling you, be strong. God uses unsharp swords. Jora itari sharp. Nishoge yahudagira. So as to glorify himself. Just like I have told my story of that so nice man from my village, Mr. Gatete. He was a hero. God used him. And that's why, for example, me growing up in my village, we were very well disciplined. Behaving nicely. I think up to today from my village, because I know almost everyone in my village. And the village is close to us. People were God-fearing. We girls were used to be called in one area when we go to church. We were told how to behave. We were told in the future when we grow up to behave properly, never to abuse people, never to lie about people, never to gossip around because that brings wars and conflicts. We were taught good manners. Because there was a chef who was from my village always making sure that we as kids, we all grew up nicely. And if there was somebody naughty, those people who are from my village, they can attest that any naughty child used to be taken, and there used to be an approved school called Kabete Approved School. It used to be school for naughty children, naughty youths. They were taken there. If you are disobeying so much your parents, if you didn't want to go to school, in my village, It was not accepted because the leadership was right. And we, when we were growing up, we used to listen. We listened carefully what our parents were telling us. Just the song says that you are a hero and that God uses unsharp swords so as to glorify himself. So there you are, whatever you're going through today. I see Red TBT. Thank you, Red TBT, for coming. Welcome. Yes, today we are having this beautiful song. It's a Mogidi song, but it's very, very beautiful song. The song continues to say, and I hate the one who is a hero. Ateridho limenaga a hero. And I hate the one who is a hero. And I hate that one that will be blessed. Because we human beings, we can judge. Human beings do judge. That you look at somebody just like that. Maybe because that person is poor. Maybe because that person don't dress good, don't live in a nice house, don't have a car, eats very poor food. You just hate that person for no reason. The song says that even and I hate that who is blessed. Also, and I hate the one who has a bright future, bright destiny. Mundu wina kioneki ni amenagwo ni ritho. So there you are. Before you look a person and you judge and you hate and you start to abuse, you don't know who that person will be tomorrow. You don't know if that's the chosen one. Always treat everybody properly, correctly, with dignity. Never lower anybody's dignity because you don't know about tomorrow. The song continues to say, and I lowers the dignity of a future king. That somebody will be a big leader tomorrow. But because that person is suffering today, you think that person is Mr. or Mrs. Nobody. You think that that person will never make it in life. You think that that person is not worth. The song is here saying, hey, don't do it. Because it could be that one day you will run into an office and you'll meet that person who you are treating badly, that person who you are abusing every day, that person who you thought would be nobody in life is the one being called the big boss, is the one everybody is listening to. Never lower anybody's dignity. For example, the people who live here in the diaspora, like I live in Sweden, never treat our people who are back home in Kenya wrongly. Never think that those people who are back home in Kenya or in other countries, third world countries, that they're worth nothing. You don't know about tomorrow. The song is trying to tell us never to disrespect anybody, never to lower anybody's dignity, because we don't know about tomorrow. There you are. Ask yourself, are you that kind of person who goes around abusing people? Are you? Are you the kind of person who goes around laughing at people because the people are poor? The people have no homes or poor homes. Are you the kind of person who goes around laughing, hey, that family has no TV? I remember, for example, me growing up in my village, a TV was a big thing. Only the rich had TVs. And for us, people who didn't have TVs at home, we could go to some neighbors to watch TV. Some neighbors were polite, but sometimes you could feel unwelcomed, although they don't tell you. And you know how it is as kids. If you remember as a child that somebody ever threw out and told you cannot watch the TV, it hurts. If you're there, for example, and kids want to come and watch TV, allow them. It is a blessing you're getting. I do remember even some people, those years, maybe they had like stone houses. Sometimes they were afraid if you step in their homes because you have no shoes, so you have mud in your legs, in your feet. Maybe they don't want you to come in. If you're one of those people who treat others that way, it's high time you change, because you don't know tomorrow. You don't know if that person you're treating that way will be somebody one day. You don't know that person you're treating wrongly will be the one employing a lot of people, having big businesses. You don't know. You know, this is a very, very touching song, touching on poverty, because nobody likes poverty, just like the song started. Because with poverty, you get stressed. You're not able to buy whatever you want. You're not able to even pay bills. You're not able to do anything. You're stuck. Poverty is bad. Nobody likes poverty at all. The song continues to say, Lord, you are full of mercy. Tegayeda. Remove poverty from our lives. So there you are. If you're facing poverty today, I'm here asking you, do you pray? Do you, even if you go try to work, yes, it's good to work. God blesses hard work, yes. But do you also pray? Because prayers is the key. Not being prayed for. You yourself praying. As I've always said, you don't need anybody, a mediator or anybody between you and God. God hears prayers. And you don't have to go to a church to pray. God hears prayers from home. I've been praying from home since now 31 years. And God hears my prayers. There you are. Whatever, if you are facing poverty today, do not forget to pray. Look up and tell God, God, I know you love me. I'm your child. You did not bring me to this world to suffer. Make a way for me. Remove this stress life I'm living in. God hears prayers. But if you're there and you're suffering, maybe in poverty, and you don't pray, you just wait Sundays to go to a church to tell pastor and apostle and I don't know prophet and who bishop, hey, pray for me. Why? Why you can't pray yourself? Don't you believe in yourself? Don't you believe that God can hear your prayers? Because sometimes I ask myself, when people are suffering for a long, long time, I ask myself, don't they look up to God? Don't they ask God, God, make a way for me. Create the way, God. I ask myself all those questions, I do. Because I do remember, those of you who follow my story, when my late dad fell sick in 1991, as I was entering Form 1, I had gone then to Gateway Girls in Githongori. And my dad got gout. Gout is for the legs. Because my dad had, for many years, used to go to work to Marigiti, but his friend used to have a car. So my dad used to drive that man's car all the time. They were like partners, more or less. So I think my dad was not really walking a lot. I think so. And he got gouts. So anyway, that's when the first time for me to see poverty, like we didn't know what to eat the next day because my dad is sick. He didn't have money to go to hospital. He's in the bedroom. My late mom, she was a housewife. She's home. Yes, we have skuma wiki there outside and onions and stuff like that. But the maize flour, the wheat flour, the rice, sugar, all these we didn't have. And that's the time for me, I got to learn that really some people can lack food. I didn't know that before because when my dad was working, he was very active. Almost every time when he was coming from work, he used to give my mom little money and she could buy whatever we wanted, like for food. But after he fell sick, he was the breadwinner. That's when it stuck to me that, oh my God, wait a minute. Poverty really exists. People can lack food. I do remember sometimes my mom used to go to one of her friends. I think she used to call Mama Shiko, very nice lady. She used to go to her. And Mama Shiko, it's not that Mama Shiko was well up. She was okay, not well up. But if she had an extra packet of maize flour, she would give my mom to come and cook for us. We were 4 kids. It was tough until my mom came to a situation and thought, oh my God, I have to sell a plot. One of my dad's favorite plot. My dad didn't like it, but it was another plot in another area called Kikuyu. When my dad had, I think, 2 plots there. So my mom decided I have to sell one because, hey, how are the kids going to continue with school? We were all in nice schools. But up to then, until my mom sold that flat, that plot, oh my God, we suffered. That was the time during my school holidays, I realized, whoa, wait a minute. To have a sick parent at home, children do suffer. And let me tell you, as we were going through that, my dad used to have a rich brother, very rich brother, very rich. He had a wholesale in the whole of Luakabete. He used to sell to all the retail shops. He was a wholesaler. Not even a packet or half packet of unga, if it exists, or a quarter sugar he ever came with it, just to think. And that's why sometimes I ask myself, why when we come to the diaspora countries, we are the ones to think about the family. Because when they are there back home, I don't know if it was only my family went through that. I don't know how it is with your families, you listening to me. Because that was the first time that I learned that is not a must your family member to help you. And that's why for me, when God blessed me, the first thing I did was to help my brothers, my family, my brothers, my parents, my sis. I did. Because I didn't want that to happen, what I saw my dad go through when he had a rich brother. Anyway, just like the song says, God, you're full of mercy. Remove poverty from our lives. Please, if you're there and you're facing poverty, pray. Working hard and praying is the only way. And remember, when you work, do not take shortcuts in life. Do not do illegal businesses. Because God don't like that neither. The song says, please remove the hate from our lives. Because when you're in poverty, there comes so much hate. It only takes God mercies. Like that man in my village. Even if he was so poor, he was very prayerful. That story I told about Mr. Gatete. He was so prayerful. And that's why maybe most of the people in my village trusted in him. Because he was a very prayerful man. Just like the song is saying, remove the hate from my life. So if you're there and you're facing poverty, pray, tell God, God, yes, I'm poor. Yes, I'm going through this. Yes, I have no food to eat. Yes, I have no clothes to wear. Yes, my home, I have no home, no place to call a home. I'm going around borrowing people. Give me somewhere to live. Give me somewhere to stay. I have no home. But God, please, don't on top of that bring hate. Let people love me. Let me be accepted in the society. When you pray, pray those things. The song says, remove the hate from our lives so as to shame our enemies. You know, the enemies, those that don't like you, those that judge you because of your situation, the situation you are going through, you're facing, those haters, God should shame them. When you pray, tell God, God, please remove this shame. Shame my enemies. And the only way you can do that, Lord, pour me with love. Let me be accepted. Change my life. Remove me from poverty. Let me enjoy this life just like the others are enjoying. Enemies are always there. You can never be loved by everybody. Even Jesus Christ was not loved by everybody. But in life, it's always good to choose peace. If you go in an area and you notice there is no peace, move away. I tell this story like me. When I started to hang around more on YouTube, I met a few YouTubers here and I used to go to their channels. But when I notice it's so much conflict and I even don't know why. Up to today, if somebody asks me, why did that one and that one fight? I have no idea. Why did that one and that one fight? I have no clue because I never changed numbers that we can talk or never SMS in private with anybody. I never, nobody, no one. So I miss all what was going behind what those people were fighting about. And if somebody asked me why was someone fighting with me, I have no idea. If someone would ask me, hey, you are accused of forming groups, I ask, what groups? With who? Where? When? How? You know, but as I learned is that with online, there's so much lies. If you're there, I would tell you, and you are also like, want to become a YouTuber, be careful about the lies going on online. So much lies. People will make you hate each other for no reason. People will lie about the other one. Fake stories. Lies. Just to make sure that you are fighting with that one. Just to make sure there is no harmony. There is no peace. There are some people like that. They want to create enmity. If you notice something like that, move away. Separate yourself. It's fine. It's okay. You're losing nothing. Views will one day come in life. For example, the people who have also other jobs, take it easy. Find peace first. Harmony is more than everything else. Because if there's something bad in life, it's conflict and wars. With my 50 years of age, I think the only person, and I mean the only person I've been fighting was here online. Someone I've never met, I don't know nothing, just through lies. But anyway, we learn it every day. But those kind of enemies, tell God, God, remove them away from my life. I don't need them. I don't want them. I don't want their views. I don't want to have any money ever from them. Because that kind of money, either from views or whatever, would bring you bad luck. Say, God, God, I don't want that. I want peace. I want harmony. Always I think when we pray always that God can move away the enemies. If you notice someone is your enemy, tell God, God, please build a way for me to separate myself from my enemies. The enemies should not come close to me. I don't want. This amazing song, it's very, very touching because it also says, hey, you there, you the hero, you whatever you're going through right now, you're a hero in the eyes of God. Don't be worried. Don't worry. Your heart should not be worried. Just because right now you're in poverty. Because where it's thrown is not where it falls. As we say in Kikuyu language, haria eikagio tiho egowaga. Let me repeat that. Where it's thrown is not where it falls. Haria eikagio tiho egowaga, as we say in Kikuyu language. So do not worry. Do not be troubled. Your heart should not be troubled. Ask peace from God. Ask harmony from God. This is a very, very beautiful song. I think this song is like three years old, I think. Yeah. It's 3 years old, this song. An amazing, beautiful song. I always have so much fun writing these songs because our artists, our Kenyan artists, our Kikuyu artists, because I dwell with Kikuyu songs. I'm a Kikuyu. Kikuyu is my business. And all these songs are in public domain. We are allowed to scrutinize and analyze them. As long as I don't play those songs, because I wouldn't like to play them because not to have copyright from YouTube, but to scrutinize them, analyze them, gets the beautiful message these songs gives us in English. That's why I am here, because I want your youths who don't understand the Kikuyu language, I want them to know these beautiful messages in these songs. Because like with poverty, it's everywhere. In Kenya, we have maybe 42 tribes, I think. And with all the tribes, I'm sure everybody in each and every tribe is facing poverty. So this song is for all of us. And poverty is also around the world, even here in Sweden, in Germany, where I used to live, all around the world, there's poverty. This song is to encourage the people who are facing hardships. You who is there, you have properties, but your properties on loans, and you're not able to pay your loans back. The bank is hunting, calling you every day. They're about to come and take everything that you have, everything that you own. Look up to God. Tell God, God, remove this shame from me. Make a way for me. Pray. Praying is the only way. Hard work and praying. There is nothing else in between there. Nothing. And nobody should lie to you. Because some people say, I see a real TBT is saying they added 2 more tribes. We are 44 nowadays. Okay, thank you, RTBT. So 44 tribes in Kenya. And with all these tribes, I'm sure there are people facing poverty, as I have said. So it's good to always tell God, God, whatever I'm facing, please do ashame me not. Do not ashame me, God. Remove shame from my life. Let me be accepted. It's the best thing to do. Anyway, as I've always said, I always tell the name of the singer, the artist, and the name of the song, so that later on you can go and listen to the song. Real TBT, let me see if you can guess the name of the song and the writer, right there, if you can remember, or if you notice who it is, let me know. You can write there before I tell it. It's an amazing song. The artist is Mogi the artist, an amazing artist. Well, the song, a very beautiful song. The song is called Zena Doremeri, and it's by one and only one, Josega Tutura, Machete the King, an amazing Kikuyu artist. So if you've never listened to that song, please go listen to it. Zena Doremeri, it's a beautiful, amazing song. As I've always said, we are here to scrutinize these amazing, beautiful songs. I'm so proud to be a Kikuyu because, hey, we have the best songs. We have the best music. We do. I'm sure there are other people in other tribes, but I don't understand other Kenyan tribes. So my tribe, the Kikuyu tribe, proud to be a Kikuyu. Our songs are amazing. We learn so much from our songs. They encourage us. They hold our hands together, you know? So if you've loved my work, please don't forget to touch the subscribe button to support me. You can like, comment, and share as well. And we'll continue with this journey. I'll be back again tomorrow. Let me see, Real TBT. Oh, yeah. I wish I said it earlier. Josie. Yeah, that's right. It's an amazing, beautiful song. He just revived it. But the song is 3 years old. Yes. As I have said, I usually go live Monday to Thursday at Kenya time, 10 o'clock. Sweden and German time at 9, because now we're in summertime. And I'll be back again tomorrow, same time. And don't forget, I have my playlist. My playlist, if you go NCK2310, then you'll see songs message. Press there. You'll find all the songs we scrutinized. So if you like political songs, you'll find them there. If you like Mogidi songs, you'll find them there. If you like gospel songs, you'll find them there. Nothing missing. Yes, I thank you so much. I thank you, Red TBT. Thank you always for giving me your time. I really do appreciate. And for those that will watch later, thank you as well. And let's carry on with this amazing, beautiful journey of scrutinizing and analyzing our Kikuyu songs to be praises. Thank you and stay blessed and bye-bye.